Hey guys, so we are now a couple days past the get-together we had at our house. Everything went well. I think everybody had a great time. We had a great time, Emily and I, as the hosts, which sometimes isn't typical. But the best part about the whole thing was that I got so much done that I've been needing to get done for a while. I don't know if you remember what this area looked like here. It was always the part that Emily cringed at whenever I walked by here in a video. We had extra boxes of thatch from the roof. We had pots, bags of potting soil. I mean, this was kind of the catch-all place, which from the front of the house, it's kind of like the side of the house, but unfortunately, it's the side that everybody sees as they come up the driveway. But now it's basically just the trash cans, Bella's kennel, a few tools that I use all the time, and some pumpkins. Of course, I showed you the deck the last time, and everything is just clean and in its place, and it does make me feel really, really good. I feel like now I can get busy with the projects that need to be finished without having to worry about all the clutter. Look at my fall color. I had a huge breakthrough with Daisy a couple days ago. It was really interesting because I've been trying to be more diligent about taking her on walks every day, but only about 2 or 3 days in, when I would grab the lead off of the back hook on the back wall of the barn, all of a sudden she started to do this gallop, one circle around her corral, and then waited for me at the gate. She knew that getting that lead down meant we were going for a walk, and she would get some green grass. I would take her on a walk, and then I would tie her to the fence somewhere so that she had kind of a little radius of fresh grass. And then she kind of depleted all the fresh grass along the fence. So I bought a rope so I could lengthen that radius. But then Saturday, she was out here for maybe 3 hours, and I was doing my work, and I came back and looked, and she was up here kind of just laying down, taking it easy in the grass. Now, typically when she's laying down and I would start to walk toward her, she would kind of get up and walk away. But on Saturday, that didn't happen. She just kind of laid there. And I sat down next to her, and she just laid there. And then I started giving her scratches, and she was just kind of turning her head, like just enjoying those scratches so much. And I'm like sitting there telling her, do you know how happy you're making me? So I called Emily, and I said, can you come out here? I need to get some pictures of this. So when she came out, she couldn't believe it. And she snapped some pictures. And it was just the coolest experience. So now today I'm planning on doing that again when it gets a little bit later, and I will try to get that on video for you guys. And I hope she does it again. Before we get started on our day, I wanted to talk with you real quick about some sad news for our Next Level community. Julianne is a moderator on our Facebook group for Next Level Gardening. And if you're involved in that Facebook group, whether you've seen her in action or not, you've definitely reaped the benefits of it. We all have, because she's just one of the great 3 moderators that we have who work to keep that a great space for free. Unfortunately, her husband passed away suddenly, and they were building their dream farm, and now she's got a lot of costs and things associated with the grief that comes with losing a spouse. So her sister set up a GoFundMe page. I'm going to put a link in the description below. And if you guys are, if you have the ability or are inclined to do so, anything would make a world of difference for her right now. Today, we are going to be doing a few things. I'm going to be planting daffodils here in the cottage garden. It's something I put off long enough. It's not too late here because our ground doesn't freeze, and as long as you get them in by Christmas or New Year's, everything's fine. But it's a job I put off because it's difficult. Because when you're planting so many, you have to dig a deep trench, and I want them to stay here. So you got to get them below wherever you'll be digging to plant new things each year. So that's going to be something I do here in the cottage garden. First, I wanted to fill in a little bit of the gaps from the last video. You guys, I'd shown you the lanterns at night on our deck, and appreciate all the compliments. At night, it really does look very magical out here. I had mentioned getting new bird cages after the last video. So here's one. Here's the second one. And this one's the one we had. I was gonna paint it, but it looked so good lit at night, just keeping it white, that I decided to leave it. But some of you wanted more detail on what I used. In terms of the lighting, there was already low voltage outdoor lighting here. The kind that just has the box and it's got the cable, and you just kind of stick the prongs into them and they light up easily. And so I went with that. I ran that cable up through the rafters and then was able to run a piece of that cable to each of the lanterns. And the thing that I bought when I redid all these just this weekend was their little disc lights that you stick underneath your kitchen cabinets to make light on the counter. They were super easy. I just cut the plug end off of each one of them and just wired them into the pre-existing cables. I will leave a link below to those lights. Also, the strip LED lights that light the roof, well, whatever color you want. I have them set to purple, but you can do any million choices of color. I'll leave those down there as well. And they're indoor, outdoor. All right, I'm gonna gather what I need to plant those daffodils. We'll do that, and then we'll go check on Daisy and see if she's ready to go on a walk. So I've got 100 of these daffodils. They're ice follies. We don't have the easiest time getting daffodils to naturalize and come back every year here in our climate. So there are just a few that are more prone to doing that. Ice follies is one of those. I also got 400 Blue Magic muscaris. Basically what I'm doing is mirroring what we have over here on this side, which is ice follies all along the front and going back on the path. I'm just going to do that here on this side as well. So both sides of the path will have ice follies, daffodils with muscari underneath them. And muscari or grape hyacinth are actually a Mediterranean plant. So they come back here pretty reliably. In fact, they do a little something that in a lot of places they don't do. And I didn't know this, but a couple of months ago, they started to send these leaves up. No blooms, just leaves. And so I was like, what's going on? I looked it up, and they will tend to do that to gather some extra energy and then put that into the bloom in spring. So if that's true, we should have a really nice showing here on this side of the path. One thing I'm going to have to make a decision about are these large lamb's ears, because I planted those from 6-packs after the daffodils died back in the late spring, and they have really grown quite large. And so you got to think this one here is probably covering 15 daffodils, and they're not going to work their way through this. So I think unfortunately I'm going to have to go to the work to dig these up and divide them, but I don't have to do that today because I'm not planting here today. But there are 2 on this side of the path that I will need to remove so that I can plant the bulbs where they are. And just to make things a little more difficult, I've got to remove all the Christmas lights on top of them. Okay, that wasn't that difficult. all planted. And all my mess cleaned up too, by the way. So other than cleaning up my messes, bulb planting is probably my least favorite garden activity. I'm not sure why. Do any of you feel that way? And I know I could use an auger to do each individual hole, but I was planting so many in such a tight area, and then also doubling the layers, making it layered planting. It was just easier for me probably to do it this way. So the initial trench was 10 inches deep. I put bone meal and rock phosphate at the bottom, both great sources of phosphate. Rock phosphate will feed them for longer. I am expecting these to naturalize. Then I put my bulb layer of daffodils, buried that until I had about a 4-inch deep trench, put some more fertilizer, and then planted the muscari, and then covered all that up, watered it in, and now we wait. I ended up just digging out the irises. I had 3 clumps of bearded iris here, and then I just planted them back in this spot. I moved them back away from the edge further than they were originally planted. So now this spring, we should have daffodils and muscari all the way up, and starting about halfway down and going up. Some of my stonework has come off because apparently I bought a cheap version of masonry glue. All right, let's go see if Daisy's ready to be walked. You'd think she had been doing all the work getting ready for our get-together. Looks like she fell asleep in mid-stretch. Okay, I'm going to go in the corral and get the lead off of the back wall, and let's see if she does her thing and meets us right here by the gate. Okay, well, she didn't do the lap, but she did let me very easily put the lead on her, which 4 or 5 days ago was not the case. You stretching to reach that grass up there? That's not the best place. You know where the best place is. Let's go. This looks like a good place. This is hers. Sit. Can't just get video of Daisy. Bella's got to get her attention, don't you? Okay, I did forget, though, that I do need to brag on Bella a little bit. She did her job the other day. I had Daisy down at the other side of the pasture tied to the fence down there, and I was up doing whatever I was doing. And it had been about an hour, and all of a sudden I heard Bella barking, which is rare. So I went down there and I saw that Daisy was trying to pull the lead away from the fence. She was trying to let herself loose, and Bella let me know that. So that was good, Bella. That was good. Well, I don't think I have enough hours before the sun goes down to leave Daisy out here long enough for her to want to lay down. So I don't think I'm going to get video of that today, but we'll make sure to get it as soon as we can. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. I'll see you next time.